Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth. And it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. In this particular video, guys, we're going to talk about one of the three pillars of financial success and generational wealth, as I like to call it. And one of those, and that pillar being the 401k account. So growing up, the 401k was one of those things that I heard on television, and I would hear like in commercials and stuff like that, but we never actually talked about it in like at church. We never talked about it like the pool parties. We never talked about them at the barbecues. And in my opinion, it's one of the reasons why our community, the one that shares my reflection, is one reason why our community is not building wealth at the levels that we should. It's because not nearly enough of us are taking advantage of the 401k. And in my opinion, there are essentially three pillars that the middle class, the poor, and the poor can use to build generational wealth. One of those is the 401k. And the 401k is what I'm going to talk about in this particular video, because I want more and more of our people to start investing as heavily as possible as they possibly can into this. So full disclosure, I studied engineering at North Carolina A&T State University. I've been a practicing engineer for nearly 20 years. And I also obtained my MBA from Drexel University in Philly in grad school. So shout out to the Dragons. Throughout the course of my studies and everything, I ended up spending over $120,000 to obtain my master's degree in grad school. And I have a separate video about that and whether or not I thought it was worth it. But the thing that I did love about getting my MBA is that it taught me for the first time how money truly operates. For the first time in my life, I understood basically what a lot of these accounts, as far as index funds, ETFs, HSAs, 429s, I found out what basically 529s, I'm sorry. I found out what a lot of these things actually do, how they operate. And I should not have had this, and people should not have to spend $120,000, in my opinion, to get that type of education. So as a result, I'm teaching it to all of you all for free on this platform. So with that, let's get started. What is a 401k? So the history of the 401k is essentially an employer-sponsored retirement account that essentially replaced the pensions from way back in the day. Back in the day, you worked for Ford, Chrysler, General Motors for 40 years, and then basically they would give you a pension for the rest of your days here on Earth that basically was very commensurate to the salary that you made. So the 401k, that system was not sustainable, and the 401k is one of the employer-sponsored retirement accounts that essentially replaced that account. And 403b. And by the way, when I say 401k, the term 401k as well as 403b, which is essentially the 401k for cops, police officers, firefighters, teachers, federal agents, you can use them interchangeably for this. So for all my police officers listening to this, for all my firefighters, for all my teachers listening to this, the 403b, which is essentially for you, is very similar to what the 401k does. But with the 401k, many employers match what you put into your 401k up to a certain percentage, up to a certain amount. So at the time that I'm recording this, the maximum amount that anyone can contribute to their 401k is $20,000, $20,000 to $500. So at the time of this video recording, the maximum amount that you can contribute to your 401k in a calendar year is $20,500. Why should you use a 401k account? Firstly, the 401k account, similar to the Roth IRA, similar to the HSA account, is a tax deductible account. So for example, if you make $50,000 a year and you put $10,000 into your 401k, the federal government will only tax you on $40,000. So let me say that again. If you make $50,000 a year and you put $10,000 into your 401k account, the federal government is only going to tax you on $40,000. So secondly, if you work for a company that basically matches your 401k up to a certain percentage, it literally is free money. And outside of welfare and tax cuts, it's the only form of free welfare that I can think. It's one of the only forms of welfare in this country that is available, that the federal government gives you literally for just showing up and breathing outside of welfare. So it's free money. So example, I'm an engineer. I use everything in I like to use a numerical example for a lot of the things that I say. If you put $3,000 into your 401k, okay, on January 1st, let's say you work for a company that says, yes, Mr. Chris, we basically match your 401k up to the first $3,000 that you put into it. So that means on January 1st, if you put $3,000 into your 401k and your employer tells you that means Christmas Day, right around Christmas Day, you're going to have $6,000 into that account, even though you only put $3,000 in. Why? Because they matched to the first $3,000. So same thing, example, let's say I walked into you January 1st and said, look, if you give me $3,000, I will give you $6,000 on Christmas Day. Name one of you that would not take that deal. Why? It literally is free money. And that is essentially what the 401k is. It is, if your employer basically matches your 401k, everybody listening to the sound of my voice should basically match exactly up to the 401k of what your employer is matching. Why? Because it is free money. Who should use the 401k? Moving forward, who should use the 401k? Anyone who works in corporate America that has a 401k match. Why? Because it's free money. My advice, once again, is that if you basically invest in your company's 401k, invest at the bare minimum up to that match. I don't care how broke you are. I don't care what your financial status is. I teach all my clients, the day you walk into corporate America, go to the HR department and say, what percentage of my income do you match with the 401k? They say they match the first 4%. Tell them I want 4% of my income going every paycheck into my 401k. If they say we match the first $2,000 that you put into your 401k, say, okay, cool. I want $2,000 taken out of my paycheck, so that goes directly into my 401k. That way you guys match it. And so it works the same way with 403bs. Next, moving forward, once you start investing into your 401k or 403b, immediately. The reason why I say immediately is because the laws of compound interest are very important. They're one of the most powerful laws in the universe. Money that stacks on top of money and paper that stacks on top of paper is like a snowball that gets bigger the faster, the longer it rolls and the more it gets down the field. And if you immediately start paying into your 401k at 18 years old, by the time you're ready to retire at, 70, 75, when all millennials will be ready to retire, that the small amounts that you put in over the years is going to basically stack up to millions of dollars. So for everyone that's listening to this video, you should be basically the day you get to corporate America, walk into your HR person's department and say, what percentage of my 401k do you guys match? And you should know that. Secondly, what I always did as well was that when I was interviewing for different engineering firms, I would say straight up, okay, let's say there was 3 different engineering firms. Mr. Engineering Firm A, what percentage of my income do you match into my 401k? Well, Chris, we basically match the first $5,000 you put in. Okay. Engineering Firm B, what percentage do you match? We match the first $7,500 you put into your 401k. All right. Engineering Firm C, what percentage of my 401k do you match? We match the first $10,000 you put in your 401k. Whoever would offer me that job, I would say straight up, okay, you offer me that job, but you offer me the same position, but your competitor also offered me a position and their 401k matches such and such. Will you match it? That's the kind of way I want you guys to start thinking, basically, people. The 401k match is essentially free money. And the best part about it is if you are in a type of field that basically is in high demand, such as science, technology, engineering, math, employers basically will match 401ks depending on if your services are that good. So it's just a little thing to keep in mind. Who is not eligible to contribute to the 401k. Sadly, not every employer basically has a 401k match. If you work at like Wendy's, McDonald's, places like that, there ain't no 401k, sorry people. But, and there are actually a good amount of companies as well that require 4-year college degrees that also, unfortunately, don't have a 401k match, or they have no retirement accounts to speak of. If you are in that situation, my advice is to go directly to your Roth IRA, and I have videos about that as well. But if you work for a company that does not basically have a 401k or any type of 401k match, obviously you're not eligible to receive it. In many cases, you have to be 21 years old to basically start a 401k. Some companies, I've worked for companies like this where they basically say, yes, we love your service, but you have to work for us for a year before you can contribute to your 401, before you can contribute to a 401k. Situation like that, I say just max out your Roth IRAs, and then the day you've been in that company for a year, then start contributing to your 401k, or just go work for someone else who actually is in the 21st century and who does have a 401k match. Either way, people, you should be investing into your 401k as quickly and as fastly as possible. As I said earlier, they match it to the first. Find out what percentage of your income your company matches to your 401k and invest directly up into that. So in conclusion, 401ks and the matches that come with them are one of the building blocks that, as I said, the poor and the middle class, as well as the upper middle class, can pretty much use to build generational wealth. It's one of those types of things that, like I said, I just did not hear a lot about 401k matches or 401ks, period, when I was growing up at like the barbecues, the pool parties, the block parties, church, stuff like that. It just was not something that we talked about a lot. And it's one of those kind of things where it's such easy money that is accessed and that is available to you, that it's kind of a shame that it's like that, because you can literally stop yourself from building generational wealth by not investing into the 401k. And it's also one of those things that you can basically build generational wealth by investing into. Why? Because it's a tax deductible account. And if you work for a company that basically matches your 401k, people, it is literally free money. And outside of welfare and capitalism, just like I said earlier, it is literally one of the only things in America where you actually get paid just to show up, and that's it, just to breathe. That's essentially what the 401k match is. It's free money, as people, as I said. So as I said earlier, everybody, this is one of those videos that I wanted to make because people were asking me, okay, Chris, what is a 401k? I don't understand. What is this 401k match you keep talking about? What are these things that I hear about? And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, just because it's one of those type of concepts where, like, as I said earlier, we just do not talk about it enough. And I call the 401k one of the three building blocks to building generational wealth. So that, everybody, please like, please comment, please subscribe to this video. If you have any questions, please hit me up in the comment section below, and I can talk in more detail about this kind of stuff. But I want to change. I want as many of us as possible people to change our family trees. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to find out if your company is a 401k match, and to invest every paycheck that you have up to that 401k match. All right, everybody, take it easy. It's your boy Chris. I'm out. Peace.